This is how you can extract content from client contracts using GenAI. Contracts can be long. Many are 50 pages or more. Instead of scrolling through and reading these long documents, what if we could interact with them in a conversational manner and only extract the information that we need? We're going to use LLMs to extract the data we want and create a new summary document in less than 20 minutes. The two LLMs we're going to use are Granite 13b Chat to extract the text and Mistral Large to transform the output into an easy-to-read table. Let's get started. Here's the contract in the public directory in our application. The first thing we need to do is import our dependencies. We'll be using LangChain and LangChain Community. For this project, they'll help us load and process our contract with the help of PDF parse. To interact with our LLMs, we'll be using watsonx, which doesn't need to be imported here. We'll use .env for importing our env variables, and Axios for our HTTP requests. And lastly, we can use the built-in Node.js file system module for adding our data to a new file. Before we start coding, we need to have our credentials defined in our env file. The credentials we'll need include an IBM Cloud API key, our watsonx project ID, and the watsonx.ai API URL. For ease, we'll be implementing the solution all in one large function. So let's define and export that function here. Next, we'll need to reach out to watsonx to grab a bearer token, which will pass to our two API calls. We can save the response as a variable to use later. Now let's load our contract so we can interact with it. We'll instantiate the PDF loader class to load and process our PDF document. Now we get to the LLMs. Our first prompt will extract and transform key pieces of information from our contract. For this, we're going to use Granite 13b Chat, and we're going to tell it to extract the title, the name, the services, effective date, and compensation from the contract. Then we want the LLM to transform this data into JSON format. And we'll set the output to a variable that we can use later. Sometimes models respond with extra characters in the output that we may not need. This output contains backticks, so let's go ahead and remove any backticks from the response output. Okay, that output looks good. So now we're going to set up our second LLM. And this time we're going to be working with the Mistral Large model. I'm going to copy the first LLM since we're going to be using the same credentials and parameters that we used in our first model call. For our next prompt, let's tell it to refer to the previous output and then create a simple table. And we're going to save that to a variable as well. Okay, so once we have the responses back from our LLMs, we're ready to write the file to a local file using the fs.writeFile method. So let's tell it to create a .md file. We'll put in our callback. Okay, now let's check the new summarized file. Okay, that looks great. Congratulations! You've successfully built a content extraction solution.